Greetings, everyone. Tommy Hawksblood here, co-host Tina Bird. Hope you're ready for some more information and to get involved. Ask questions, please do. Uh, I'm from the Big Island of Hawaii, and the weather's been pretty lousy here lately. I haven't been able to get outside to see any ships. It's cloudy every single night. But I'm going to give it over to Tina to say hello and what's happening. Greetings, Tina.
Greetings, Tommy. Oh, a bit high pitched. So, greetings, everybody. I'm Tina Bird here, broadcasting from Southampton in Hampshire, in England, in the UK. And it's been about 30 degrees every day so far for the past nearly 2 weeks. As a days has been between 26 and 28, but it's been extremely hot weather here for the UK. So it's been very dry, and everyone's been like ill because of the sun. We're not used to so much sun. But yes, but we've had a couple of clear nights, and the other day there was an incident in one of my local areas, and so we have like a local news channel, but on the internet, like on Facebook, just like to give you updates and etc. And something fascinating happened. The police, the local police, what you call it, local police department, put a picture up about this thing that had happened. I'm going to just click on it now to have a look, but my phone's playing up. And it captured, it wasn't until I looked at the picture and looked again, it captured a UFO in the sky. It's a police photo. So it's not been tampered with. And it's, on Hampshire and Isle of Wight News. Let me just pop my glasses on a second, and I can hold it up to the camera so you can see it. I have put it on my Facebook page, so people who are friends of me can and will see it. There it is there. There you go. So there it is there. See the white thing in the sky above the street lamp?
Yeah.
There you go. There it is. And I was taken on a police photo from the Hampshire and Isle of Wight News.
We had something really interesting, I guess. I guess it was in Mexico. It looks like a round ship, but it landed, and supposedly there's some kind of alien contact from that. There's not much more information about it yet.
Wasn't there something that fell from the sky, like an orb, like a metal orb?
Yeah.
Well, if you have a look again on my Facebook page, there's two symbols on there from 2016.
Oh, yeah, you pointed to symbols on there.
Yeah. One is for male, and the other one is a human symbol for DNA.
Wow, that's kind of strange. Oh, I got to check it out. I didn't know it was that ship that you put that up on, because I didn't know what it was from, but that's cool. People, check it out. You know, we're getting closer and closer to a lot of incredible things happening, but I'm going to tell you straight out, everything pertaining to aliens is not going to be beneficial to the human race. Everybody thinks it's going to be better, it's going to be good, and all this. We got one person out there who I won't say his name. I don't even want to give him credit for being a person. Hey, but he's destroying the whole UFO movement, making it sound incredible, and he's blaming the army for everything. Oh, they did the inductions, they did this, they're making a false alien invasion. I mean, he's so pathetic.
But to top up, just to back up what you've been saying for the last few weeks, because people think, oh God, Tina and Tommy and all this and that. Tommy has been proved right over and over again. This week, I've been watching the American Congress, because we don't have things like that in the UK. American Congress. And they're having talks about the UFOs and skiffs and that, and they want more accountability. And there's a lady on there, I'm not sure if she's a speaker of the House Watch, fantastic, I really love her. And she was asking some retired general or admiral and CIA questions. And you're right. She said, if UFOs aren't friendly and they don't exist, or alien species don't exist, can you tell me why we're paying compensation if they're friendly and don't hurt people? Why are we paying compensation to military personnel for being near these things if they don't exist? It's a contradictory in terms. And if you're paying them, why isn't there no oversight? As she had them nailed to the board. And that was this week. I think that was yesterday before. That was this week. So Tommy has been proved from what he's saying. They're not friendly. They do harm us. What I'm saying is correct. So there you go. Sorry, Tommy, carry on.
Well, I won't say a person's name. When I was lecturing, I was at a UFO conference, maybe, I don't even know how many years, maybe 7, 8 years ago. And I met this girl and a lady, mother and daughter. And their husband was arrested for murder, framed for murder. He's in jail permanently, and they go to see him every month. But basically, he was going to release. He was a captain of a Navy ship, and he was going to release the UFO files. Sure enough, they just put charges of murder on him and put him in jail. It's sad what they do. And this other person I'm talking about said they offered him $4 billion to walk away from the UFO program.
I would have done it.
I'd give him a smack in the head to walk away, not money. But I put something on his site. He puts videos up every day, every week. And I put my statements underneath them. I say he's the biggest scam in the UFO world.
Again, Tommy, you're right. I mean, they're still putting people away for things to do with UFOs. Now, they've come out and said that UFOs are real. So in America, I don't know how it works. I'm not sure if it's prison, jail, penitentiaries. All the people that have been sent to like what you call a nut house or psychiatric assessments, just for saying they've seen a UFO, are they releasing them? Are they giving them compensation?
No, they're not.
Out? What's happening with that?
Pull up a name. His name is John Ford, Ford. All right, he's in Long Island in a nut house. They arrested him in 1996, saying he had uranium and he was going to kill people in the government. Now, he shot the best video, which I actually saw, of a ship that crashed on Long Island. He went out there with a Geiger counter and this little teeny piece of uranium to check his Geiger counter to make sure it was working. Mm-hmm. And they arrested him saying he had a barrel of uranium.
He would be dead.
He would be dead. Everybody around him would be dead. I mean, and he's not going to go walking around with it, putting it in people's toothpaste, which they said on the radio and TV in New Jersey and New York. I said, you know, the government must think people are pretty ignorant to say something that stupid. I mean, if you know anything about uranium, you can't touch it, can't go near it without a spacesuit on and everything else. But to think you could take it out and stick it in toothpaste, what kind of drugs are they on? But it's sad. And every year, he can't even go to trial because if he goes to trial, he'll release the video, and they don't want that video to be shown around the world. So basically, they say he has to be reevaluated, and that happens for another year. They've been doing it every year since 1996. They won't let him go to trial, and it's so sad. But see, he's doing dumb things. He keeps reading UFO magazines and all that. I said he has to pretend nothing of that's in his mind right now, so they think he's okay in their mind, in their viewpoint. But as long as he's reading UFO things and stuff, they're thinking, well, yeah, he really wanted to kill people in government, blah, blah, blah. But it's all such a scam. And I'm telling you, I lost 16 good friends in 25 years. All right. And 2 of them with the whole families taken out as well. So when this person was in front of Congress and said, and they said, well, we don't, the government, Congress said back to them, we don't take people out and stuff like that. They don't personally, because they don't even know nothing about UFOs. It's called UN Agenda. Well, no, let's skip that one. Let's go to MJ12. All right. They're the ones that are responsible for covering every single thing up about UFOs and aliens. And they have been. They have more power than the president. And nobody in government can even mention their names. But again, what's happening in the UFO world, more people are seeing them. And then we got these idiots saying, oh, well, they're just Russian ships and they're drones. Drones don't travel at the speed of light. Drones don't stop, go, come around, and like stay over you for hours. Why would the drone want to be over you?
Drones don't irradiate you.
And they don't irradiate you. And see, that's the thing. Everybody out there, Tina here is radioactive at a certain level. And it's not normal at any level. Radiation doesn't go up and down, and Huz does, which means it's some kind of weird, strange radiation. So obviously it's not just she went out and touched radiation. She was exposed to some kind of radiation on a ship, which very few people in the UFO world even think about. They got zero proof that they were on a ship. And then they come out with these elaborate, ridiculous stories. Oh, we were on a good ship and they took us around the universe and they showed us this. I said, watch them eat. Where did they go? Where did they live? What's their city look like? What do they actually? How's their family life and all that? They don't know nothing about aliens, and they're turning around and saying they're good and they're going to help us. Help us what? They gave Mr. Tesla. All right, now this is for real. I found the information out directly, and it didn't come from somebody else. Tesla gave the United States 50 deadly weapons. He created 200 inventions. He didn't go to college and come out with all that knowledge. He admitted he worked with an alien race. So it wasn't like he was a genius, which, he was a genius to invent these things. No, he invented time travel. Nobody on the planet could even think about it, or even half of the people, most of the people don't even believe in it. But here's the thing. He, when he disappeared, he actually was put in New York City in a hotel. He stayed there 10 years in a room by himself. Whatever they did to him, realize when he invented all this stuff, the last thing he was invented before he kind of disappeared, he was working on a doomsday weapon. All right, why would he be working on that? So again, all these weapons, he gave 50 weapons to the United States government, and we're using them now. Now, I don't know if everybody's keeping up on the news. Tesla invented a jet that's the fastest jet on the planet. Well, the United States is releasing a spaceship within about 9 months, and it's going to have a lot of Tesla's weapons on it. It's going to probably make the United States #1 again to fear for the rest of the world. But in the interim, I've been trying to deal with Musk because his goal is to go to Mars. I said, do you think aliens are going to let you go to Mars?
I think they've already been to Mars many years ago.
Have been. And Trump goes, he wants to be the person to put a flag on it. I said, these people in the highest power have no clue what's going on the planet. I said, how do we let this happen? They don't know nothing. Trump doesn't even believe in aliens. Musk doesn't. I'm dealing with. Wait.
President Trump was going to. Sorry.
I'm dealing with 12 different Musks. I think one of them is real, but I'm not even sure of that right now. So, but I was talking to him and I said, look, he goes, well, yeah, aliens could be real. I mean, here you're going to Mars. You put up 6 ships that blew up. And I said, you're worried about being the first person to go on Mars. I said, if you knew the history, I said, I want to give you important information. And then all I get back from every Musk is, oh, you got to buy Bitcoin. I said, is money more important than everything else that you're dealing with? I said, is it just money you care about? I said, you got 14 children. You should be more concerned about those children than Mars. He's got 3 wives, 2 girlfriends. I mean, he's really out there. And I said, do you think you're going to take your girlfriends to Mars? I said, what are you going to do for your sex life on Mars? But I don't know. I told him the only way I'm going to give him any more information is unless he does a live video 2-way conversation with me. Nobody I have been dealing with on the internet will do that. I keep getting videos of Musk saying, I'm the real person. I've been watching you and I really want to talk to you. I'm not going to, this is the real Musk. And I know it's a clone video that everybody's using. And all these Musk sites are using all these videos. All right, sorry.
Talk about videos and pictures. No, I know you little rant. Talk about video and pictures. Last few nights, every now and then I get the urge. I don't know. I'm starting to go red again now. I just had to turn my fan on. Every now and then I go out every couple of nights and I get I take some pictures of the night sky. So this was in the night sky above me. I zoomed in pictures. You can actually see the shape of something there. Not sure what that is. Yeah. So this guy's just inside our atmosphere because I've got some more from the other day.
Your cell phone for that?
Yeah, this is my cell. I took it on his phone. There you go. Look at that. I zoomed it in. It was in the sky.
What I'm saying is, would you want a night vision camera? I mean,
I can't afford one of them.
They're not that expensive. They're a lot cheaper right now.
But after I see these, I've been having some repeated dreams in different ways, like the same message repeated. So I drew it.
Okay.
So I keep having this dream. I think it's like I either start flying or I'm at my mum's house, or I fly from here, but I'm looking up and it's in my local area, and I'm like looking at night and I'm seeing sparks and I see these. I'm trying to tell everyone, look, there's spaceships up there. Look, people think I'm crazy,
I
and
know.
so I'm trying to tell my family and I'm trying to take a picture. And each time I take a picture, it doesn't come out. It won't come out in the camera. And all of a sudden, there's these motherships that come out, and then they come out to confront me, and then I wake up. But then I've had these dreams in the same place. So what I did was I was dreamed that 4 or 5 UFOs came, and it wasn't under a cloud. It was like see that there? It is a fire dust storm. It's like dust clouds with fire. So I don't know if that's such a thing. But and then all of a sudden there's this other cloud in the sky with a mothership.
I saw a video of something like that just about a week ago.
So, and then that's the sea behind, but then there's this massive chain link fence there. That's how size it was, and there's the little car there. But the other side of this fence was like a hole in a cave, and they were trying to get down to this. And inside this cave was a water system, and the diagram was very important. Apparently, that's the water inside this cave system. I don't know what it was about, but that's what they showed me. So I drew that, and then I drew like the car, and I just try and get underneath the fence to get out and drive off in my car. But it's the same kind of dream in different ways, and I see these like different signs, like these like symbol images. I can't make sense of it, so I just start drawing them down to see those. What the hell?
That's a good thing, because in my life I must have saw over maybe 2,000 ships. I mean, about maybe 100 crystal clear ships that were above me. I'm talking about the classic circle ship with the lights going around it.
Even in my dreams, it's like I'm asleep and I know I'm dreaming. It's weird. I don't know how you know you're dreaming in your dreams. But then I'm at this place that looks so familiar to me, but I know the ships are there. When I know the ships are there, I'm looking up and I know what I'm looking for and I spot it. It's weird.
Well, Tina, there's like I did a whole couple years of research on dreams, and there's a couple ways you dream. One is you're viewing yourself in a dream. One way you're in the dream as you, and the other one's you are looking at yourself in the dream while you're in the dream. All right. Each one has different
I'm
ways.
me in the dream. I'm me because I can't see myself, right. But only when I fly I can see myself, like see my
because
arms.
If you could do both, you can actually rearrange it, change it, and do a lot more in it. But you do, at least you're drawing notes of your dreams, because it's a lot of stuff comes through your dreams. Because when you go into an altered state, which is lucid dreaming, you're in a different reality, and it shows you a lot more stuff.
It's the same dream, but it's kind of like the same dream, but there's a few things that changes. But these ships are like
there,
the same in the sky. It's weird.
Well, I don't know how much you're dealing with them and your children and all that anymore. Are you dealing with it or not? Every time I tell you to do something, things happen really fast.
I stopped listening to your voice when you nearly got me in a lot of trouble in the garden.
I just don't want you to get in trouble with these alien friends of yours. I know they're not your friends.
People, like they say, like, as a guy, apparently call him the UFO summoner, but I think that people that have that ability, that it is a side effect of abduction. Some people like radar, and he can sense it. But when I'm near one or near one of their ships, I can link with them. Like the grey fog, you can talk to him. You learn how to do it. But yeah, but when you do, it's like they view it like a. They don't want to come, but if you do it long enough, they will. But it's like a screaming child they don't want to deal with.
Well, my dreams with aliens are really bad. My meeting with them were never good at all. And when people say, well, they're good aliens and they did this, I said, yeah, well, got one shred of proof this big to prove anything you're saying, and they don't.
So just to back up what you're right, so if I flew over your house uninvited, I'll be impeding your airspace. Okay. I would also be covering your house in radiation, bacteria, and viruses. I would then take you against your will, strap you to a table against your will, rip chunks out of you against your will, and perform experiments, and then kind of give you the worst nightmare of your life. And then, if I felt like it, put you back. What is friendly and inviting and consensual about that? Nothing.
Not a
Nothing
thing.
whatsoever.
Not one thing.
So how is that? How is that? I'm not being negative here, but that is the plain, simple fact.
You know, people, and I was writing this. I'm doing my one book over, and I was writing about how people like to take whatever the story is, no matter how bad it is, they make it into a better story. Like how Jesus takes their sins away, protects them, and all that.
Well, it's not. I had jumped in it today. So, oh well, I've had a pleasant experience, and you're very negative, and they're very good beings. And I said, and this was at a meeting, and so I can't say the gentleman's name, but it doesn't speak to me anymore. We were very good friends before that. And I said to him, sorry, I said, I've just got to stop you there. I said, so I'm not being negative, but I don't, everyone believes what they want. But what I know is, so you're saying that you have contact with them and they're good to you, and oh yes. I said, so how do they contact you? Does they say, hi, I'm coming round, blah blah blah? Did you consent to them taking you? Did they come around during the day? Did they leave you a little invite? Did they say, look, I'll come in peace, I'll give you this, we're friends? Did they come under the guise of night? Did they subdue you? Could you move around their ship? Did they take you? Did they hurt you? And he's like, oh, well. I said, well, that's not a friendly act then, is it? Coming under the guise of night, impeding your airspace and taking you against your will. How is that friendly and positive? It's not. And he just shut up.
Well, see, what I explain, and people need to listen, especially in the UFO world, when you get abducted, most people are reprogrammed. All right, the government does it too, but the aliens do it. And I know when I've been working with abductees since I was 19 years old. I'm 72 now. But those people that I work with have proof of things, proof that they were pregnant, proof that they lost a child 1 week before it was supposed to be born, proof that the hospital said she wasn't even pregnant the day after they did the sonogram and all that. People, I've been in this all my life. I never did it for money, and I still don't. Writing books and making money on fictitious stories.
Well, the hospital knew I was pregnant and never told me, because in the UK they don't have to give you results. They give me a scan and they didn't tell me. No, that's very naughty.
It's scary what's going on every which way. But see, I've been dealing in the United States. We're dealing with what Trump's doing right now, and he's screwing the whole United States up royally. And he's passing this bill tomorrow, and it's going to be the worst bill ever to hit the United States. But in the interim, the lies that come out are incredible. And some people that don't follow the news, they come to more jobs than ever in history. He's full of shit. I mean, basically, we have very few jobs now. We're losing jobs. They're talking about hospitals closing and all these medical centers closing because they're not going to have people going there because they can't afford to go there. It's a horrible thing. And everybody says, oh, the people that are on drugs and program, like people that say they've been abducted and it was good, say, oh, it's a great thing. It's the best thing that ever happened to the United States. No, it's not. Even Musk now is going against Trump. He was supporting him, saying everything, and giving him all this money and everything else. But as of his world beautiful bill passing in the United States tomorrow, he's against them, which I have been writing to Musk every which way. But I said, look, finally you got your act together. Life is more important than what Trump's doing to the world. When he was raising the taxes, everything's higher now. People can't afford stuff. The stores can't even afford the food anymore.
It's very expensive here. I did 2 bags of shopping here today. It cost me £75.
Well, when I go out to the store, I spend $150 to buy one meal. I mean, a couple of things, but one meal, it's like I got to go, once a week?
On the news, if you go on the news, the UK news on the, what's it called, babe? on the internet, YouTube, and on like the news stations for England on the YouTube, they've been telling us to prepare for war.
Well, that's very close to happening as well. Seriously, but
That's a
okay,
very scary situation.
like I said, I've been involved this all my life, and it's not fake to me. It never was. But when you hear people like, "Oh, you're crazy" and stuff, that's their choice. They can live in la la land and think everything's beautiful, which most people do. Christians and Muslims and everybody. Oh, we're going to be saved. We're all protected, and they don't want to think about reality. Like if the planet gets destroyed, or we all get put in a radiation shield and start dying, which is going to happen as well. Now they come too close to us. I mean, I met a person in the UFO world. I'm not gonna say his name, but he worked with the tall whites on Area 52 for the government. He says if we go near them, we'll die. He went too close and he was going through all kinds of sicknesses and everything. But this race was trying to help the United States. They said we'll take you to a planet that looks like just like Earth, and they said no, we'll get there ourselves. In other words, they didn't want to work on them. Now, Area 51 is Area 51, but they got Area 52, Area 53, and Area 54. Each one is a different alien race that's on it, and they can't release that to the world. I mean, people think aliens might come here, might help us, and all these might happen. Even the UFO world. Well, they could be real ships. Richard Dolan. Well, maybe they could be real. Maybe there's really, maybe. I said, I live in reality, and so is Tina. We're not here telling stories to make money, to make people believe in the fairy godmother. I want you to believe in the truth, and the truth is out there. I mean, now, I'm going to say this about the X-Files. They had like every 3 series, it was always one about aliens. But the truth is, when they put out the movie, the first X-File movie, not the second one, the first one, it showed what was going on at a high level about why they're working with bees and all that. And I'm going to say this, and maybe I shouldn't. I could probably disappear tomorrow. But basically, I'll tell you this. The X-File released really important information if you watch that movie. All right? And it's what's going down for real. So, Spielberg, when he did his 6-part series, he took every fact he could find out about aliens to put it in that movie. All right. So these aren't just clowns wanting to make money to entertain people. They want to put the truth out there at some level, which is what good people do. And people that experience things should express it to the world, because coming out 25 years later, it's like what the Army does. They tell us, oh, they made a ship 25 years ago. Oh, 50 years ago. What are they doing now? And I'll tell you, they already have a machine. They can put it on you when you go to sleep and actually watch you dream. All right? That's how far they are. And they're not going to release that to us. Everybody wants to see their dream for real. But again, technology is so far advanced, and we keep moving forward in the government side, but they don't release it to us. Tesla's releasing everything he possibly can. He's releasing a flying car. I said, oh, yeah, we just got to put drunks in a flying car now. That's all we need over the United States. But
Honda Civic, is it Honda? Honda created like a not a low atmosphere car, but like it could float higher than a hovercraft off the ground. So I think it's Japan, isn't it? I don't think it's China. They've actually got one, haven't they?
Well, 2 other countries. Musk is releasing his that he's responsible for. But he released the worst jet on the planet. It's the fastest jet on the planet. And he said, by the time we send a ship to Russia, his ship will be there, bomb them, and be back already. I don't know I've been trying to get who he's going to sell that. Who is he going to sell it to? If he sells it to Russia, he's going to be a traitor to the United States. If he sells it to China, he'll still be a traitor to the United States. But in the interim, within 9 months, the United States releases their spaceship. It costs $44 billion. And Trump's not talking about. No, I saw it. It looks so cool. But there's so many weapons.
Called the Enterprise.
I don't think they named it, because we had 2 ships already. One was called the Aurora, and the other one was the Delphi. Both of them are the ones that went to Mars. All right. Trump's not even ready to. Musk isn't ready to hear the truth. I mean, I can't even get to the real one, so I've been dealing with these so-called fake musts. But people, anybody out there that hears the show, sees it, knows how to get in touch with Musk, I've been trying for almost 9 months. All right, and basically, he was a bad guy when I started to get in touch with him. Now he's becoming a good guy because he's going against Trump. But here's the thing, people: you need to watch the sky. There's more stuff in the sky than ever in history. And why would there be more stuff happening above us if something wasn't going down? Uh, and I filmed three incredible things in 3 days ago. Really cool stuff. I don't put my stuff online because I just don't want to get people say, "Oh, that's fake." I mean, I filmed light ships over me, Tina. I had about two light ships on both sides of me. Then a ship was coming towards me over the sky. Two light ships came up around the ship like that and followed it for a ways.
Get them on video. Get pictures if you can.
I have it. I have it all videoed. I've actually recorded that whole segment.
Stick it up. Stick it up. I mean, there's so much. It's not. It's beyond a doubt now.
Remember this,
it's beyond a doubt now.
Tina. Remember this. If it's too clear and real, you're going to be in trouble by the government. That's a promise. I'm not saying it's my promise, but it's what the government does. Anything when Phil Snyder, well, his story is incredible. But when John Ford was arrested, I saw that video. The ship was crystal clear, laying on the ground with the aliens laying around it. All right, and I went to where it happened. So, and he's in a nut house. They're not going to let him out. But other people, like the 16 people that were my friends, that were telling the truth about there are 27 alien races working with the United States and Russia. All right, two of them want to destroy the United States and the world. So that's a fact, whether you want to believe that or not. And then you hear the UFO people, well, there's 180 races and there's this and that. Well, they can't do anything above the 9 races that are here.
I don't care about the other races. I just care about the human race and what they're doing to us and why our governments are lying to us.
I agree, Tina.
They should be helping us and filling us full of knowledge in a way of this is dangerous. This is not. They're here to help. They are not.
I don't like to go in.
Doing that.
I don't like to go into past lives and things like that. I don't know where you are with that, but again, I'm aware of all my lifetimes. And I saw what happened to Atlantis, what races came down and destroyed it, what races took out most of the races that were here, all the races, every race from 200,000 years ago.
I'm aware of things as well. I'm aware of being sedated, strapped to bed with bits ripped out of me, and it's extremely painful. And again, I know you said you're numb and you lay there and you can't do it, but it affects you for the rest of your life. What government's looking out for me?
You know that, Tina. Nobody's looking out for normal people. And the UN agenda means the rich people will be here in 2030. That means 50% of the population of the planet is supposed to be taken out by then. The diseases they're working on right now, I mean, in the United States, they have 12 places working on diseases that have no cures. Tell me that's not scary. They won't even list where they are because they know people would try to destroy them and take them out. We have a base off of New York, where they were cloning aliens and creatures for many years. But they found a half human, half creature body and things over the past 25 years. But again, why? I can go into greater things, but the government has so many things that they don't want out publicly, which is 90% of everything here about UFOs.
Talk about greater things being out. My other book, The Guardians of Light and the Brotherhood of the Night, is now out on audio book. You can buy that on audio. So my book here, this one there, you can just see it up there, The Guardians of Light. You can see that and you can buy it on audio book. If you go to Amazon, it's on Amazon Kindle, Amazon Unlimited. You can buy the paperback, and now you can buy the audio book. It's 13 hours, I believe. So you can buy 13 hours of it. Why would you want to buy 13 hours when you can watch me and Tommy every week for an hour?
No, it's cool. I'd even want to listen to it. But Tina, is it a male or female doing it?
Oh, it's a female and I only had 4 options, and they were one was English, one was American. It's this American woman that sounds.
I got to ask you one other question, Tina, before I let you go.
Yep.
Was it AI or a real person?
I think it was AI.
See, now I was told, because I did my book as an audiobook, but it was AI a year ago, and they said Amazon will not put AI books online anymore. So I've been
my
fighting
book
with
was
them.
it was written by me, but the audio, the
Well,
options
that's
they
what I'm
gave
saying.
me.
The audio, they won't take an AI, which was I was told. And now I've been fighting with them for about 5 months because I had it done over with a female doing it. Now, when it came to the last chapter, she says, I want another $500 from you. And I said, well, I paid for the audio in the beginning, and it wasn't to be put online. I've been fighting with them, and I still am. The book is done in AI. And then I got an email saying I can go online now through Amazon. I'm still waiting for him to get back to me on that. But no, I'm glad that you have it out there, and it sounds really cool.
It's on Audible, so I'm trying
Everybody
to
should listen to it. Everybody should buy it.
Yep, the other one is The Guardians of Light, and that one there, The Bonded, The Truth About Alien Abduction. I had to put it up £3. Amazon said unless I put it up £3, I wouldn't be getting any money. So it's now £13. So that wasn't my choice, by the way. Amazon said I had to put the book up.
Well, books have to be $10, $12 to make any money for you.
Yeah,
the companies make 80% of that money. People, do you understand that? You can sell 1 million books, and how much money you get out of that?
Not a lot. But you can see me, guys. So next week I won't be here. I'm having an operation. See if I can get some internal pictures. I'm going to ask the doctor not to put anyone in the pictures, and can I have the scan picture? So we'll have a look at that if I can. And after that, I'm going camping with about 200 ufologists in Warminster in England. So you can see me then. That's next weekend after. And on the 13th of September, I will be lecturing at an event in Hull for Outer Limits magazine. And you can come and see me there, and I'll sign your books.
Tina, 2 things.
Yes.
I got 4 night vision cameras, but here's the thing. The best one I have was $500. But you can get one for $40. That's okay. And it's a night vision camera. The technology was released about 2 years ago.
Okay, I will have a look. But if someone
Tina, what I was going to suggest.
Get someone to buy me one and send me one.
Wait. Put up a GoFundMe. I'll do it. And then use your name and say, look, do you want to see really good pictures of UFOs?
Yeah.
Who's going to be out in the sky watching? Because I did that about, I don't know how many, maybe 7 years ago. I did it, and I got money to go to the UFO conference on the mainland, and I put some pictures up and everything. Cool. But I made $800 in a day.
But by the way, guys, me and Tommy have been doing this show 6 years. It's got at least 6 years. If you go back on our YouTube, you can see our show's dated from 6 years ago. So me and Tommy have been going 6 years. At the end of this year, we start of our 7th year. So we don't get a lot of views, you don't get a lot of likes, but we're still going.
I have to be careful that we don't lose it.
But for me, Tina Brad, that's it this week.
All right, I'm going to text you, Tina, because I got to ask you a few questions. But stay healthy, and I wish you the best on that operation.
We're starting to break up.
Okay, well, we made it. We made it through for you at least.
Yeah. So next week I won't be here. The week after, guys. Next week I won't be here. I'm having the operation, but the week after we will be here. Bye-bye, and I'll see you all in 2 weeks. Bye-bye. Take care, guys. Bye, Tommy.
Bye-bye.
Stay safe.
All right, Tina Bird, great person. She's probably the top in the UFO world now as far as abductees. All right, and her story's as real as it gets. Anybody else that ever claimed to be abducted in the UFO world in the past 20 years, 25 years. All right. And she's not telling incredibly good, happy stories, which people want to hear. So most of these people have a bad dream, bad experience, bad programming, and turn it into a great one. One of the famous speakers in the UFO, he's top. He was famous. But he goes on about he was with aliens and they showed him the past, present, and future. But everything he said never happened. Now I'll tell you this. When the Mayan calendar was given to the Mayans, why did people think that it was real? Really important and really going to happen. I mean, the time frame when it was supposed to happen never did. And then you get the New Age, well, it happened, and the energy is different, and blah, blah, blah. All the things in the UFO world are real, but not really good. whether you want to believe that or not, when you have an experience with an alien and it's real and you could prove it, you'll know the difference. Because everybody out there, I lectured for a couple years with somebody, all right? I'm going to say his name. I mean, he always had an ego and we always had problems. We'd be good for a couple years, then we'd have a fight, then we'd be good for a couple more years, and we'd have a fight. But whatever kicked him off on the end was a good friend of mine, all right? Now I'm going to say two names. Sergeant 18 was the person I did all my UFO stuff with. Sean David Martin was my good friend, and I used to meet with him in New York and work with him at his seminars and when he did the Whole Life and New Life Expos. All right? But he hated Sean because Sean was famous and he wasn't. But in the interim, that's how our fight ended our relationship. But the problem is we did work outside 6 days, 5 days a week, every other day, 4 to 6 hours a night, filming UFOs and strange phenomena, strange creatures. All right. And we're the only persons that had the proof. And we lectured and we showed those pictures every year. We had a fight for maybe 2 years, made friends. Then on Kerry Cassidy, we did a show on that for 9 months, once a week. And we had about 1,200 hit us every morning, come up. We had about 50 on our site when we were doing our show every night. But people, nobody really got concerned when we showed real pictures of real UFOs. And I'm not talking about Tic Tacs. I'm talking about ships that look like ships. Different kind of ships, but ships. All right. He copyrighted everything when we had a fight. I'm not allowed to use those pictures publicly anymore, so I can't show them. I had to take my site down. But people, and he changed his view, kind of like Stephen Greer, who I didn't mention, but who knows who he's really working for. I mean, he could be half alien as well. I mean, he looks like one. He talks like a fool. I mean, everything about him is a lie. Everything he says is twisted information in the UFO world. And he's fighting the government, fighting Congress, and all these people to bring the truth out. And his truth is not the truth. The whistleblowers he hangs around with are telling great stories with zero proof. All right, the truth is, people that are aware in the UFO world know that the government's been working with aliens, had aliens. And just to prove it, there's a video online, everybody. Go online, type alien interrogation. It's real. It was real when it came out. I mean, even a famous UFO author, Whitney Schreiber, watched it, and they showed him, and he started crying. What are they doing to the alien? What are they doing to the alien? He was abducted supposedly when he was young, and I think he believes he had a good experience. And look where he is now. Nowhere. If you got something important, and if you're really abducted, you would have something important to bring out to the world. And Tina is. She's becoming the #1 speaker about abduction. But she has more proof from implants and operations and being radioactive. We did a show for 6 years, and I proved she was radioactive. After a month or two we did the show, I said, you got to go out and buy a Geiger counter. I made her do it. I bought one too. And she used that. Then she dropped it, broke. She bought another one. And over the past couple of years, she bought another one, a different kind, a better one. And I got to make her do it, maybe not next week, but the week after. So she's radioactive. And when she goes to the hospital, she has all the symptoms of radiation poisoning. I mean, for 2 years, I didn't think she was going to survive it. She was losing her fingernails, losing her teeth, losing her hair, passing out. All right? When she falls, half of her body turns black and blue. And then the operation they did on her, they said it's too controversial. We can't release it. All right. So when she went to court to try to get it, she went to Supreme Court, and they said, no, it's too controversial. We can't release it. To her, the one that they did the operation on. All right, I had an operation. I was outside of my body watching it, so it was different for me. I mean, she's not dealing with the spiritual sides of those kind of things because she's not getting any kind of help anywhere. I mean, every time she gets abducted and she has to pay her medical bills and everything else, but nobody helps her. But I'm protected. I have my own stories that I was going to get in today, but maybe not. Uh, Mine started when I was 6 years old. Hers started when she was around six as well. And you know why? Because children are open when they're 6 years old. And it's easier for them to get in and program and do whatever they need to do and all those kind of horrible things. But when I was 19, I started working with women. And now I'm going to do this because it's not being done in the UFO world. Uh, I wasn't famous and I wasn't doing books or anything like that. I wasn't making money off of the UFO world. But I was finding women that have been abducted, having their children taken from their womb about 2 weeks before they gave birth. All right. Two different women brought me, showed me the, I don't know what they were called in those days, but like a sonogram of the baby inside her womb and all that. And then the day she went back to the hospital the following day, they told her, oh, she couldn't have been pregnant. So right away they said, oh, it must have been faulty equipment yesterday or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So the lies are always there. And I don't know how this happens. The hospitals are informed about certain things that they can't release. And I'm going to give you a short story. This is a real story, not a fake one. I was living on Long Island for a while, where John Ford actually had his situation happen. But I was living near Montauk, near the end of it, and I was with a friend for about a year. And she had a good friend who was the surveyor and builder in Long Island, built all the mansions. So she says, well, I got a chance to stay at this guy's house for 2 months. You want to hang out there? And I said, sure. I mean, his house was beautiful. He had a swimming pool on top of the house. He had a jacuzzi in every floor. He had 3 floors of his house and everything. It was beautiful. So he said, there's something under the house. See if you can catch it. I tried the whole time that I was there to catch whatever was under there. Never had any luck. But when he came back, I started talking to him. I said, you know, I've been in the UFO world. He goes, really? He pulled out a newspaper story that was in the newspaper. UFO crashes into the ocean. Well, he had this big picture window, and he showed it to me. He says he was there with his girlfriend, and they were making love in front of the window. And this flash came down, and they were both burnt. Both of them. His girlfriend and him. And he didn't know what to do. He called the hospital up and said, well, we were burnt in a ship. Obviously, they didn't listen to the story, or they did listen to the story, and they told him, take 3 aspirins and go to sleep, which they both did. Next morning, no traces of the burn marks on their body or nothing like that. So why were they informed? Why would a hospital tell you, like, if you're burnt, stay home and take aspirins? Really? So that's just one story. When the hospitals are involved and they tell you to do something, how would they know not to come in and get checked, or at least see what's going on and see if you're going to be okay? What were you exposed to, and all those kind of questions, which would be really important if something like that happened and people cared, or they cared and they knew what was going on. Different story. But I've been in this all my life, people. I don't make up stories. I don't tell other people's stories unless they're my good friends, and they give me proof to prove it to me as well. Now, my good friend who actually got me more involved in everything is not Sergeant 18, but Sean David Martin, because he was one of the top speakers in the UFO world. He was head of all the debates and the conferences and all that kind of stuff. He was one of the top psychics in the United States. He was rated at 87%. He predicted 1 year in advance in New York City in front of a couple hundred people the exact situation that was going to happen at 9/11. Now, I'm not going to go into details, why, how, or whatever, how he really knew all the details, but he did say it. But I ended friendship with him because the day that it happened, he wasn't there. He didn't go to the center. All right? And I said, but you knew it was going to happen. You knew what was going down, and you just said it. But when you get a prophecy from spirit, angels, whatever you want to say, and you do nothing about it, that's karma. All right. What if Sodom and Gomorrah didn't do anything? What if Noah didn't do anything? When they're given a vision and they're given an insight, you're supposed to act on it, or you wouldn't even be given it. It's not like, well, we'll show and tell. I'm going to show you something. Wow. But if you don't stop it from happening, what good's the insight? Now, Billy Myers was the biggest name in the UFO world a long time ago, because he was putting videos up of UFOs over his house and around his house. And I was always leery of what was going down. I'm not going to say he wasn't real. He was real at some level, but he was also a fake at many other levels. The ships would just go around in a circle like this. And it would be like if you put a ship on a string and just swung it around. All right. And then when he had reporters come out to his house, they found a fake satellite that looked like the ship that Billy Myers was saying. He made it out of a hubcap and a couple of things, but he destroyed his credibility to the max. But now, on the other hand, he was given 100 prophecies from the race. He called them Pleiadians is the way he called them. And he had pictures, and he showed a picture of the back of one. Looked like a person with super rare hairdo and long hair and stuff, but never showed the face. He had a cartoon, a drawing of one of the ones that he called the girl, who was the one he worked with a lot, supposedly. But in the interim, all right, these prophecy of 100 prophecies he was given, like 98 of them came true. I don't even know if the other 2 came true or not. I gave up on him a long time ago. But during this time frame, and he came out, in the 50s. But in the interim, like 25 years later, when he released the prophecies, one by one was coming true. Prophesied about the planets that were going to be discovered and all these different things. So now that brings us to the point, was he psychic? No. Was he given the information? Yes. But was the information given to him created by the people that gave him the information? All right. Think about it. But you don't see his name anywhere. I don't even know if he's alive. Probably might be. But he had one arm. He lost his one arm when he was young, and he always had cameras outside and things. But his wife turned against him somewhere in the interim near the end. And the UFO world is such a fussy little place to be in, and it's not like the best place, and I don't know why people would want to voluntarily get into it. I didn't want to voluntarily get into it. I didn't want to see an alien. I didn't want to see a spaceship next to my house and things like that. But once you pulled into it, there's a reason. And I'm not giving up. All my life I was called crazy. I'm not going to go into those details. Even when I worked for the phone company, when I left, I was given a cake with all the little aliens on it. But many people asked me to see pictures. I went to court for 2 years against the phone company. Real story. Now, I got hurt on the job. And I did a show on a UFO show with, I'm not going to get into details, but they said that I got hurt on a UFO. The phone company, New Jersey Bell telephone company, said I got hurt on a ship. Well, they were trying to say that, and they wanted me to admit that, because then they wouldn't have to pay my medical expenses while I was in the phone company. But during 2 years, I decided to quit the company, and I left. I worked for them 20 years. But every 4 or 5 months, I moved out to California and had to fly back to Jersey to go to court. And then my lawyer, who actually told me this is the most simplest case, but you're going to get a lot of money, retired. And then I got a letter in the mail, the case is being dropped, I have to get a lawyer, and blah, blah, blah. So the lawyer that called me says, look, I want $10,000, but you're going to lose the case. I said, how could I lose the case? So I never was able to follow up on that. And all of it was dropped. But people, the judge himself called me in after one of the court cases and said, I want to talk to you. And he brought me to the bench, and he said, he let everybody leave. And he goes, I was with my wife in the car, and we were driving across the desert, and this light came over us, and then our ship started floating in the air, and I don't know how real it was, blah, blah, blah. So he said, I said, look, I'll show you all the pictures I shot. And I did. Right, and this is the judge. And the New Jersey bill pays for the top judges. They have the best lawyers. So the lawyer I was against was impossible to beat. But the judge says, look, I'm really glad you showed me that because I kind of thought I was half crazy when it happened, and so did my wife. But high people in high places, don't want to come out with the truth because then they are considered crazy. And then what do? How do they defend themselves? They lose credibility. Even an operating room, he's the one that was on a ship and talking, and the credibility takes his credibility away. People, it's time for the truth to come out. Not that it's going to be good, because it will not be. What's happening is not good. What they've been doing is not good, considering every race that was here was taken out by an alien race. Oh, well, they just faded out. No, they just disappeared. All these castle cities, pyramids were just left there, and they disappeared. Even the giants were taken out. And there were multiple giant races here. I mean, the book of Enoch, which was taken out of the Bible, they left one story of a giant in the Bible, but they took the rest of it out. Why pyramids were built so big for one person? Why? And all the reason mankind doesn't think straight, they don't have facts of anything to prove how to think different. So they're based it on the programmed ideas that they have in their twisted little mind. I'm sorry, I'm against all UFO people. The Skinwalker Ranch. All right. Now realize, Bigelow owned that ranch and was doing all kinds of research there. All right. When he left, Skinwalker Ranch showed it. He left all his equipment there. A lot of money of equipment he left there. Now, Bigelow was warned to get off the ranch, but not by aliens, by entities. So now the Skinwalker Ranch on TV is getting into two women that could talk to the energy of the house and things like that. They're going way off stream because you can't combine, even though they're there, both entities, demons, words like that, versus aliens. They're not the same. They're not doing the same things. So when you watch the Skinwalker Ranch from now on, look at what they're talking about, what they're dealing with. Energy. I will tell you, there is a ship buried in that mountain. Whether they're ever going to pull it out live, I doubt it. Maybe if they do, it won't be on TV, and I don't think the government will let them show it worldwide. Right? Because how did it get there, and all the other stories along with it. But is it real spaceship? Whose is it? And all those kind of things. But the energy of it radiates. I was supposed to do a movie with a famous person who I made famous. I made him come out, talk. But in the interim, he was killed. The movie was never made. My nephew, who was going to do the producing of the movie, had throat cancer. It came down at the same time my other friend got put in jail in the UFO world, and it was all stopped. But we had a place where a ship was in the lake, and at the same time we had the reservation out there had a Bigfoot frozen in an icebox. So we were going to do a movie on both, and it was taken out. Both of the people involved, main people, came down with throat cancer. Sean was put in the hospital, into the jail, and he came down with cancer from his throat down to his lungs, and they were torturing him. Everything else went down. It was just so bad. But the year that the world in the UFO world changed was 1996. Now, a lot of the details and things were all erased and hidden. But that 1 year, 100 UFO people were taken out. 100 nuclear scientists disappeared. For real. Now, I I wasn't worried about the nuclear scientists, but I was worried about the UFO people. But 16 of my friends in the UFO world were taken out. The one family, I'm not going to go into the whole story tonight. Today's almost over. But maybe I'll tell the whole story in detail one day, one time. But MJ12 was in charge of it all and still is. Musk has no clue the truth behind that. Trump has no clue the truth behind that either. When Trump came out, when he was president, not and he met with Putin. Putin did tell him to tell the world what we're doing with aliens. The day after, Trump came out and said, "I'm creating the Space Force." Well, the Space Force was already there. He didn't create anything. But he doesn't know anything about it. He doesn't believe in aliens and all that. So guess what? He had no clue. But MJ12 controls all the money. And you're talking about top dollar. Now, the government spends almost as much as our deficit every year. Whether you want to believe that or not, you don't have to. It doesn't matter. Because I can't do nothing about it, and neither can you. Now, Trump wants to spend more money on the military. They have enough money. They don't need more money. And then for him to take money away so he can do a parade, so he can go play golf. I mean, we're selling the country out. And we already did. And what are people doing about it? Oh, he's the best president ever. Well, wait another year. Watch what happens. Even Musk is coming out against Trump right now. Trump wants to put a flag on Mars. Musk wants to go to Mars. And I've been trying to talk to Musk about Mars. He needs to know the truth about it. Whether he believes it or not, it's a different story, but he needs to know the truth. Now, a person in the UFO world, Laura Eisenhower. Eisenhower was her great-grandfather. Her mother was in Majestic, and her mother didn't talk to her much about the UFO world and what else was going on. But Laura has her own stories. How real they are and stuff is up in the air, because I know I did a show with her, and we both had the biggest following ever in history for her and me. But she agreed with everything I said. She goes, "You know more about my grandfather than I do." But I did, and I still do, because her mom didn't tell her much, or should have told her more. But Laura Eisenhower claimed she went to Mars with the president. So people, in the UFO world, stories get exaggerated at every level. I mean, to bring out a better point, better reality, oh, but they're going to help us, and they are helping us, they're not. Never did. Never saved the race from being destroyed. When they destroyed Atlantis, there were 9 races here. There were 4 small amounts of people in 4 different races, black, yellow, red, and white. I mean, there was a purple race. There was the crystal race. There was, the blue race, the green race. But I'm not going to go into that. But you need to be aware that we're in a serious situation right now between what's going on in the UFO world, what's happening with the planet, and what's going on with the wars and everything else that's going to happen and that are happening. Well, it's time. I'm going to say maybe one more little short thing. I worked in New York City when I was young, doing Ghostbusting in a Jumo Mansion. Jumo Mansion was the first castle, beautiful building built in New York City after George Washington headquarters was there, and lots of people died there. So I was doing Ghostbusting there. Samuel Jamel died in the house. Aaron Burr died in the house. Aaron Burr's the one that killed Hamilton. All right, he stayed there for years, and everybody was haunting that house. So I had a good friend. I was a high priest. I was working with the top medium in the United States at the time. I was 17. All right. And we were going there every week. We were allowed to go into rooms. We were allowed to do all the things. I found a secret passage in the house. Found secret documents from Washington. And I'm not going to go into all those stories, but I know more about that than anybody else on this planet that will talk about it. The girl that I was doing with, the psychic that I was working with, pulled away from everything and said she can't talk about any of it anymore. And she was married, and he made her stop becoming a medium, because we did it for a couple of years, and then he said, "You can't do it no more." He was just jealous. But I can't even get in touch with her. Once her sister died, I couldn't get in touch with nobody. But the truth is, when we went there were so many spirits and people, souls that were locked in that area. Now, George Washington had headquarters on both sides. He was able to look at the Hudson and East and West River. And he was a psychic. He was able to do remote viewing. He was able to go over the army, see where they are, and all that kind of stuff. Drawing there on the wall of that. But I said, like, his personal notes said a lot of things about what was happening. And Madame Jumel, who married Samuel Jumel, who took over the mansion in New York City, it's right smack in the middle of Harlem, took it over, all right, was his illegitimate daughter. I mean, we found out all the information about what was really going on in that house. And after Aaron Burr killed Hamilton, he hid out there until he died. But I mean, it became a haunted house, beautiful mansion. But I said, we go there once a week and spend half of the day there. But the things that came out of it became the most haunted house, and school buses used to come there and bring the kids and take a tour of the house, and they'd see her in the window, and it was really haunted. And all the work I did there, the only person I couldn't get to leave was Madame Jumel. And she said directly, "I'm going to stay here until they tear down his house." And they almost did when I'm leaving New Jersey. But they almost did, and it's still there. But it's a beautiful mansion built a long time ago. And Madame Jumel went to England and rode with Napoleon, trying to fight with him until they almost killed her and put her in jail. She had to leave the country right away. Came back with a chandelier that she got from. I had a crystal from that chandelier too, as well. But hold on. My phone. I hate my phone. Paid so much money for it, and I hate it. Can't even stop the call. Yeah, this person's trying to get me to do a book with him and all that. So I put out 5 books. I'm not promoting my books like Tina is. Mine are on spiritual truth. Totally different subject, really. So I have a manual I created. Cheap little cheap. I mean, it's free. If anybody's interested in how to see a UFO, email me at hawksblood1AOL.com. I didn't even look at the. Howdy, people. I'm sorry I didn't have my chat open. But questions, please. You can email. I'll put my email address up there so you can see it. All right, it's hawksblood1 at AOL.com. Okay, I answer my mail good, better, and different, no matter what. I mean, I'm hardcore. I'll challenge anybody on this planet about the truth. Truth about God, truth about death, truth about reincarnation, truth about aliens, truth about what happened in the past as well. From Atlantis on, and I'm aware of all my lifetimes in between, including what happened to Jesus. One of my books is about Jesus. So, yeah, I don't bring that into this show, but if you're interested, email me. I could give you all the names of the books. And I just put a book out for women only about man's ego, which realize women were always persecuted all through history as far as the beginning of time. Who do they blame for eating the apple? I mean, the whole situation. But with that, people, text me, email me, or whatever. I love talking on Skype. Is no longer Skype. It's called Teams. But I'm Hawksblood11. Friend me there, and we can talk live on there. I'm not afraid to stand up for what I believe in, and I'm definitely not going to give in to anybody else's stories. And the complications with that is hard because I'm not going to go into. I live with a Buddhist. Buddha never believed in God. So there's things that make life hard, and it seems like no matter what we do, it doesn't get easier. We can believe it does. The only thing that gets easier is when you leave. I mean, as long as you're not dying with a sickness. I mean, right now my hands are dead numb, killing me, burning me. I can't sleep. I'm waiting for her to go to get to the hospital, and they won't take me till August 4th, and I have to suffer the whole month now. And I barely can sleep without screaming and stuff, so it's a nightmare. My medicine doesn't help at all. But I just look at it this way. I want to finish paying off all my karma, which I'm done. All right, as long as I don't create new karma, and it's easy to do that. So, but anybody wants the truth about anything, spiritual side, the physical side of UFOs, aliens, and what's happening, Tina's book will give you the great information on that stuff. Email me or hawksblood1al.com. Like I said, I have 5 books out there. The first 2 books I can give out free. The first one is How to See God, which is my first book I ever wrote a long time ago, 25 years ago. But it's an important step in my growth, in my truth, and what happened and everything else. But it could be your truth too. Remember, all this hell you're in, no matter how beautiful you think it is, it's going to end. And when it does, then you're going to face the truth. What happens when you die? Where do you go? What do you do? Do you reincarnate? All those things. Most souls will reincarnate. All right? Only a few to get to stay, and it's called the astral plane, where all souls go that leave this realm, go to the astral plane, and then go either stay there, reincarnate, or move on to the next realm. All right. Now, the numbers are what I spent. Time there is a lot different than time here. Well, the time I spent there, most souls that go there, and this is a fact, spend 5 to 10 years there, our time, and will reincarnate back to this world. And it's not like, oh, I'm going to come back to my family. Even if you do, they're not going to know who you are, and you're not going to become like, oh, he's my grandfather. I mean, and you live life like that. That doesn't happen. Soul loses its memory when it comes back because it uses a mind that's programmed. But what you should be learning in life, soul is separate. And you can be aware of everything without the programming ideas of this, that, and the other thing. Why you're really here. What happens when you die. Where do you really go? Well, getting back to the point, when you get to the astral plane, if you're not a ghost or a spirit hanging out here, and if you're still talking to somebody, that means they're still here. But you stay there 5 to 10 years, reincarnate anywhere. Depending on your karma, your next life will either be worse or better. And soul puts you in the body that's suitable for the spirit does to your karma. I mean, if you're a killer, you're not going to come back and be Musk or Trump or somebody like that. It bases it on the exact karma that you paid off. But the other thing is, if you get to stay on the astral plane, which some souls do, they deserve that, you get to choose the age you're going to be, which is usually 24 to 36, in between that. And the other thing is, you're no longer in this physical body. You can't die, can't be hurt, things like that. You're a soul. You're not a body. But yeah, I don't get into too much of that when Tina's here. I know she's a little bit prejudiced about things, which I don't blame her. If I had to suffer the way she did, I wouldn't believe in anything. Luckily, I had multiple experiences with death and reincarnation, and I had 5 death experiences in this lifetime. So people, there's things to work with to find more truth in your life. Whether aliens or not are important is a different story. They're probably not important in your life until they come here and do what they're going to do. But in the interim, there's the word protection. Everybody should have protection of their soul and their body. Well, I might do a spiritual show in the next couple of days. We'll see how it goes. I've been so much pain, my mind can't think straight. I'm getting injections in my wrist for now. I'm supposed to get 2 operations on both of them. All that's just my garbage that I got to deal with. But till next time, I hope you got something out of today. Please, if you're watching this and you get to the end of it, please send a link to everybody you know. Maybe you don't like what's being said or care, but maybe somebody else will. All right, people. Till next time, love, light, compassion, whatever you need in your life, don't stop until you get it.